Hey everyone, so today we're going over my Love Live Sunshine deck, which recently topped at White Plains, took 6th place. I'm really excited to go over this deck. This is easily my favorite deck that I have. I went ahead and I max rarity the whole thing. It was a lot of fun, and I still love playing it, even though I'm not playing competitively right now because the next regional is until September. So let's start at 0, obviously, and we'll go over the first thing, which is the Ishiko Annie Runner. This is obviously just a great card that I want to believe everyone should play a playset of. I know most people don't. They tend to play 2 or 3 because they want to play the Yoshiko Runner, especially facing the AOT matchup when Armin, comes out at level 1. If you still have zeros out, you want to be able to get out of that climax combo. I just prefer to have this to deal with the runners I'm going to face on the other side. I'd rather have answers for that instead of, at the chance I may have 1 or 2 on the board when the Armins come out. I'm usually pretty good about clearing the board pre-level 1 versus AOT to avoid, getting smacked by the Armin matchup, even though that is where actually I lost in top 8, but things happen. So run a playset of those because they're just an all-around good card. Opponent can't back up, which is not really a useful ability for this card, but stops your opponent's runners, which is really important if you're playing against Sao, really. The Kirito runners, just about in every deck, it's really good. So a playset of those, and then a playset of the Dia Top Check, which of course is basically a staple in every deck. It allows you to mill through a little bit, possibly pull characters. It gives you information, which I think is probably one of the most important parts of this card is getting the information. And the reverse, pay 1, clock self, draw a card is always good. If you're down on hand size, you need to be able to get through a little bit, or if you're out climaxes and you need to really get through that deck just a little bit faster, it's always able to help you with that. Other than that, it's, like I said, it's just really good for that information. It's great to have the information. That's the most important thing to me. It's just why I play a playset of it. And then the thing that people nowadays sometimes do and do not run is the Rigo Brainstorm from set 1. I see a lot of decks running the Hanamaru one, especially if you're running the Yoshiko level 3. Since I am not running the Yoshiko 3 in this deck, I choose not to run it because it only salvages yellow. Or it might search yellow. It only pulls yellow. This allows me to salvage anything except it's a pay 1 tap 2. So it has its advantages and its disadvantages, but I also like the on reverse 500 pump. So it can save you every once in a blue moon. It can save you in a pinch, which is why I like it. Only need 3 of them. Don't necessarily need to see it on turn 1, but still want to be able to see it a pretty good amount because I think it's important. And on top of that, 3 of the Kanan Saver. Other than its main function of being a saver, the only other good thing is the information you get. It allows you to check for the Yoburn at 3, or just to check in general, make sure you don't trigger climax, gives you information on when you want to brainstorm and things like that. So it's an all-around decent card. I run 3 of it, don't really need to see it till the late game, or if I do see it, I'll play right over it, get that information, and use it. And then to round out level 0, we have 2 of the Yo Mills. I like this just to get through the deck a little bit faster. I like getting through the deck quick. If I'm in a pinch, I have cards that can help me get through. And it does get big. If you do hit 2 characters, you become 45. That's really, really strong for 0. It can plow through just about anything. Most of the times that level of power isn't needed. But like I said, it lets you mill through if you're out climaxes and push that deck just a little bit faster. So that level 0 tends to be a lot of mill and information and looking. So starting at level 1, we run, of course, a playset. Since this is the combo I'm running, I'm not running the Ruby, I'm running the Chica level 1 combo. Obviously the combo, on reverse, climax, salvage 1, if you reverse. Great card. Even if you don't have the climax out, it kind of helps you clear the board just a little bit. And if you did, as some people do, go into AOT in that level 1, you just net minus a whole bunch by either playing over to sack cards out or just getting bombed out. You wind up losing your field. Like, it allows you to gain some of that back and gets you back in a good spot for the level 1 and prep for, level 2 and 3. If you're able to get, 2 of these out, if you can get 3 out, that's great. If you're against the AOT matchup, it's a little worse because the Armin's going to be there. But against most other matchups, except for the Yukina Sao deck, which has the level plus and climax combo, against every other deck, you'll basically be okay. So, just my choice of combo. I know a lot of people run the Ruby one. I just like this one better because I like being able to hand fix, on demand, basically, if I have that combo, being able to grab whatever I need. I find that really important to me. And what is a Sunshine deck without a playset of Ruby Akatsuki? Again, it's Akatsuki. It basically speaks for itself. It allows you to get through the deck, get you a character, gets a character on the field, gets junk out of your hand. So It's just it's a card you really don't have to explain, but one that every Sunshine deck should run. Every set that has an Akatsuki should run the Akatsuki. It's one of the best cards in the game. And then to round out level 1, we have 2 of the Rico on-play power pumps. This is mainly just for the Sao matchup, the Sao Yukina matchup. If I can't face them, if there's 2 Yukinas out and there's, one other card that I can bomb with Chica and I can only get one of the combo off, that's fine. If I can get one of these on the field, I can normally get over. By the time you hit it on field, if you have full field, it's 75. If you get a couple reverses going, it's 8, 8, 5, depending on, if you have the Rico Brainstorming back, things like that. That's really all it's for. I only run 2 of. I rarely ever play it, but it fills that void nicely. I don't really need cards anywhere else, so it kind of fills that 2-card slot pretty nicely. Moving on to 2, probably this is where the deck, the important cards tend to shine past the Chica combo. We run 3 of the Rico early play combo. So of course, if this card is in your clock, it's gonna hop out this Chica here, which we'll go over at 3. But other than that, it does give level assist, which is great. It does help, those early play cards stay on field a little longer. And then if you do decide to use the second ability, you can reveal the top, pull, salvage it as a character of that level, or lower from your waiting room. So, if you do get lucky and you hit a 3, or you hit a 2, you can pull the backup, you can pull, whatever really you need. I tend to pull a Akatsuki most of the time, if I can, just to help fish through a little bit. Or if I'm really stuck in a bind, I'll pull the Brainstormer or something like that if I don't have it. Or pull the other part of your combo, which you should have if you pulled off the Chica Climax combo. 2 of the Ruby backup. This is easily my favorite backup in the entire game, strictly because it's a 2-1. It's a good 3k backup, which is great. But then on top of that, it forces your opponent to mill, which is always really strong. Your opponent's always going to try to compress as much as they can. Forcing them to mill is one of the best things you can do, in my opinion. If you see your opponent only has 1 out, but they only have 20 in deck or 25 in deck, a mill 5 could really mess them up. It could really push out 2, 3 climaxes potentially, depending on where they're sitting in the deck. And then, of course, just the 3k backup is just really good, especially if you have early plays out with level assist. You're talking at 11, 13, 14-5, a 14-5, depending on what cards are out, maybe a 15-5, depending on what's on the field. So it is just really one of my favorite backups in the whole game, and 2 of them I feel is pretty necessary. And then just a single of the Yoshiko Stock Bomb. It's mainly just for flavor. It's good, but I don't like the rock, paper, scissors effect. I feel like it's kind of meh. It's kind of random. It's cool. I like the card itself, but I rarely find myself using it. I'll use it against Link Strike sometimes, and some other weird stuff. But again, I just don't find myself using this that often. But again, it's a spot that has to be filled just in case they do have early play. And then the most important part of this deck is the level 3. So you're going to be running 3 or 4, depending on your ratios that you want to run, of the Chica early play combo. So, of course, the combo is you put the Rico on clock, you can play the Chica early, she gets -1 level 1 on hand, and then on play, pay an extra 1 to play the Yo 3, that's shiny, out of the waiting room onto the stage. So this is your bread and butter combo. This is what the deck really does well. And I feel like that's, something that people know. It's very well known that this deck is basically aiming to play out the 0, just kind of survive, sit through, get to level 1, use the Chica CX combo to pull, the Rico and the Chica, and then just kind of sit for 1. If you get to 2, that's fine. Play out the combo, get everything in, and fill the field with 3s early, and then use the Con-On Saver to basically keep the field full if you can. By then you should have, if you're stock bombing with Chica, if you're stock soling with Chica, you should have plenty of stock built up as long as you're not playing out, paying out a whole bunch just to brainstorm and do all kinds of other crazy effects. That allows you to keep the board really full for a good portion of the game. So I find that just a really, really good combo. It's why I run it. So I run 3 of the Chica, 3 of the Rico, and 3 of the Yo. Since you're able to fish for the cards that you need pretty heavily with the Chica combo, you don't really need to run playsets. You don't need to be eating up deck space with 4 of each. I feel like 4 of each is a bit much. And then, of course, the Yo gives Chica 2k. And then, of course, the Yo is on attack, middle, top, burn for the level shown, which is always really, really good. It allows you to get in, if you do pull out the Yo, you're able to get out, 2 or 3 attacks. And then I run 2 of the Yo 3-2 from set 1, and I actually do run the Climax combo with it. The reason I do this is if I, do hit 3 and I don't have anything on the field, and I have this, it allows me to pull my Yo burn, or it allows me to pull the Chica all over again, and, if I'm 3, I can just play it, pay it out, get the Yo back in, and then, of course, the Climax combo, on attack, pay 1 to burn and heal. I find that really good. Burn and heal is always good. It's never bad to burn 1. It's always great to heal 1. Some people aren't a fan of this combo. I like it because it allows me to search or salvage out something that I need, and it does give me a little bit of heal, which the deck is sort of lacking in. I run a single of the Rico. I don't really know what to call this. It basically makes your opponent push their cards except for a Climax back in from their waiting room to their deck. I guess force refresh. It's good if your opponent only has 1 or 2 in the waiting room. It forces them to push a bunch of cards back. Helps you secure more damage. That's basically it. It's the only reason I really run it, just for the flavor. And then, as you can see over the side over there, I run a single of the Dia on play heal. And this is just, again, flavor. If I'm stuck in a corner, I have it in hand, I'm at 3-6. And, I know if I start fishing for cards, I'm going to deck out and I would die. This allows me to at least deck out, get through cards, look for what I need, without having to worry too much. And it does actually, if you have a full field, allows you to, I think it's full field. Yeah, put the top. Yeah. So you do get the blind stock 1, which is great. You do actually get to negate some of that cost, which is always important. And then, of course, playset of the Chica Climax and a playset of the Yo Climax. Like I said, this deck is really good. It's good at doing what it needs to do. It gets the cards out. It gets the cards back in hand if they're out on the field and get bombed out. Has a lot of, grab and fish. It doesn't have as much hand fix as some of the other decks. It's more or less your 1 combo is your hand fix, and if you don't pull it off, you might struggle a little bit. You're going to have to resort to brainstorming and Akatsukiing kind of over and over until you get where you need to be. But other than that, I think the deck is actually really good. With some of the cards and sets coming out, especially Bandori's coming out, and Kantai Volume 3 just got announced and things like that. So heal, anti-heal and Kantai, and then of course you have Bandori, which has all these bombs and just has so many abilities, and it's such a good set. I don't know where Sunshine is going to land in all of that, but I hope it still lands in like a really good spot after, these sets that are coming out in the next 5-6 months coming out, especially ReZero 2, ReZero's coming out. All really, really decent sets. Hopefully this stays in a good spot where I can still use it competitively if I want, but still be good for even just casual play, if I want to use it against friends to have a real competitive matchup. So I hope you guys like it. If you need any advice on Sunshine deck building, I build a lot of Sunshine. If you want to ask me questions about the deck, why'd you do this instead of this, you can always ask me. I'll answer as soon as I can. And until the next deck tech or box opening or whatever, have a good one.